do it. Special episode Shizue. Should call it special episode Diablo, right? Special episode Black. I felt that he's an interesting character, of course, but weird in that sense. Absolutely a little weird because I really didn't think. I mean, I see the name right. I thought it was gonna be about Shizue, with him, of course, appearing. But in my opinion, so right away here, I don't think this gave me anything on Shizue. Like, it gave me that, okay, the mask is a time travel mask with, like, time powers or something. And that was already pretty obvious, and now we know that it's definitely confirmed then, because, you know, she gave the mask to Rimuru, right? He gave it to Chloe. Chloe, of course, has the time spirit thing, and then she, I very much assume so, is her master, right? But even if she isn't, she has to be able to give her mask from Rimuru, right? And then back in the past, right? Somehow, the mask she has at least has to go backward in time, right? And then, you know, she gets the mask right in the past and gives it to Rimuru later on, right? So it's like a time paradox. Right? How could she give the mask without first receiving it? So whatever that actually means with the time paradox, at least the mask is a kind of time circuit of dawn, right? Like it almost bursts itself, right, in a weird way. So whatever that apparently means that it hurts Diablo. Or something like that. Yeah, that to me was a bigger issue, or an issue was a bigger surprise there. It's one thing that the mask is traveling through, you know, time, whatever, right? And so on. But apparently it's also dangerous. Like I don't get what Diablo could touch it for. So maybe. So again, that kind of feels like it's also, as I say, it's more about Diablo's backstory this episode, because as he can't touch the mask. That kind of, or whatever happened, they kind of, you know, blew off his arm. It kind of feels like it's more telling about him than on her, right? It's like he's, as she mentioned there, potentially this progenitor, you know, Noi, right? And then the progenitor are afraid of the time power mask, I guess, for some reason, right? Or whatever, time powers can hurt them or something. That seems to be more the key, at least for me at least, from that, because it doesn't really tell you much more about Shizue, right? We already know she had a mask, and for her it's like help her to control the powers, like it limits those powers. Of course the mask has more than one power then, but yeah. And then overall the episode, I don't know, I mean, it's obviously more about him, he's summoned and so on, obviously no one has seen the episode. But I also feel it's a little weird how she was so, you know, clueless. I have to say that. I'm also with honest reviews, right? People hate that when I say that, oh, this character is pretty stupid. But I do feel that she was a little too dumb in that sense, right? Like she would go down to the, oh, is this a trap? You know? And when the guy is taking you down to the basement, he's like, wait, the king is down in the basement? And, you know, like, yes, follow me down here. And then she opens the doors, right? And even before the door opens, the doors are like classic, you know, like skull. You know, oh, look at this is obviously the place where the big boss lives, right? You open those doors, and it's not one, but three, like, really big-ass skull thrones there, right? Two on the side, and then him in the middle there, and they look like really, really malicious, and you're like, I don't know. I mean, at that situation, I would be like, I'm not gonna enter this door, right? See what I mean? Like, if you open that door for me, and I was at here, I'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna go up again on that bed. I wouldn't, you know, enter that room, right? But if it's like, this looks really, really suspicious, right? When you see the thrones before you enter the room, and that would be just from me getting to this palace. It is the first time I'm there, right? You know, like, what palace is, yeah. But in this context, she has already seen that one of them summoned a demon instead of a guy, right? And as Black said, you clearly did it, and it was very, very obvious that he was doing it so, right? He was killing that guy to make a point and so on, right? It's very, very convenient, and obviously was lying. So she see that before, right? So that is also in her back mind, should be at least, like, wait a minute. That thing was obviously a lie to them, yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I think the episode was good, but I'm just like, I'm not a big fan of those things where the hero just enters the most obvious trap ever, right? And it wasn't like the hero, in this case, that Shizue entering, she was like, well, I'm too strong, so I can beat you anyway. So I just enter this trap because I don't care. I'm the strongest, you know, flame user ever, so I can just enter and beat you up anyway. It doesn't matter to me. Or you know, she entered and she was like, I knew you were the evil guy. I just wanted you to, you know, be sure to expose yourself. No, she entered everyone's like surprised. What? You're the evil demon? Oh, it all makes sense now. It's like, yeah, you should have figured it out 10 minutes ago. So I don't know. I don't like the storytelling. I mean, straight up, the episode generally was obviously a good episode, but like that for me brings it down from like a 9 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10. If I have to be honest here, because I do feel that those. I don't never like those kind of storylines. It doesn't matter what anime it is or whatever, or TV show and so on, right? Where it's like you should be able to predict this. Yeah, something like that. I mean, she was suspicious, but she was also like overconfident, and it felt like. And actually, in that sense, the episode's kind of weird too. I mean, yes, this episode is more about Diablo, obviously, much more. When you see it now, it's much more about Diablo than you see the full episode. But when we start the episode after he's summoned, then it feels like she still is the main character, right? But she is just like falling into mistake after mistake after them like entering a trap. So if anything, I mean, Shizue before the episode was a more competent character, right? You see what I mean? Like she's a very legendary flame heroine, and now she's like, no, the truth she actually isn't that strong. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like this episode a little bit diminished her strength, right, or her like competence. It's like, well, actually, I guess her legends were kind of over exaggerated. That's kind of how I feel now. I feel I'm a little bit like, oh, okay, I guess she wasn't that strong as people told me, right? And disappointed, yeah. I'm really disappointed in her power level. Not that power level, also like her general like strategy of not being able to tell us a trap and so on. But whatever. I guess next episode is gonna be how to say it? It's like it's gonna be about Veldora, right? I'm hoping it's gonna be about Veldora fighting her master, the hero of time, right? That beat Veldora. So that would be my guess. Next episode will be Veldora. Then he's fighting the mask. So speaking, he's gonna fight her master with the mask on. And he's also probably gonna be like, oh, the only reason I'm losing is because the mask is time or something. So, but anyway, I hope that his next episode can give a little more, food on like, okay, why is the mask so powerful? Why is, how is the time travel working out? So it probably won't tell the full story, right? But I would guess the next episode is probably gonna be, if it's about Veldora fighting her, it probably will be even more, explaining like who is Chloe, the time traveler. I think very, very likely so, right? And yeah, so that's probably gonna be a little more, at least more clues on that, right? Either that, or it's gonna be just Veldora doing some random stuff. But it could be kind of fun. I mean, I miss Veldora. I don't get still though in the anime, where we never saw Veldora like returning out of him, or like we see in the opening pretty much that up to one, right? That Rimuru is like turning into like a flying dragon, right? Obviously Veldora, but it never happens actually, and I guess it happens eventually, probably in the storyline. That he can like become him as he become other monsters he's beaten, right? But yeah, like that I guess happening episode 50 or whatever. But so yeah, I want to see more Dora. It's happening next week. Like I love the moment when he's Ifrit. He's like, hey boy, you decided me. Yeah, let's be friends in here. So that's gonna be awesome. Hopefully see more of Dora's personality and also probably getting more clues and maybe even some answers on how the time travel works, right? What I would see the most is that I hope that Veldora is, how would I say it? I hope that it confirms that it also is Chloe, because I think to me it's 90% chance or higher that it's Chloe being her master, but it also could be someone else that she gave the mask to and so on, right? Like it could be because it's time travel. She could travel in the future, give someone the mask in the past, yeah. So I hope it's like whatever it's her. I hope it's her, right? So. There doesn't need to be 10 characters in a time loop. It could be 3 of them, because now it's Shizue, Rimuru, Chloe pretty much, like those 3 in a loop, right? And maybe Chloe and herself with the speed, I guess. So it's her double wise, so it's 4 people in the circle. But it could be more, right? And I don't think that's necessary. So I hope it's gonna at least confirm that it's her with Veldora next week. But anyway, yeah, hope more Veldora next season. But I think Slime is getting a season 2, right? They already punched this out. It's been very well received. I think it sells pretty well. I have no idea though when they will do season 2. I would guess it earliest next year, probably 2.5 years or so. Anyway, hope that's a review, guys, of Shizue or Diablo's extra story. And I'll say one thing though, I guess with Diablo, I really liked the beginning. Obviously, I wish the whole episode was that. But I love that contrast, the classic black and white, right? and the blood everywhere. Of course, his name is potentially Noir, right? So black and white Noir, it makes sense. Oh, it's to be confirmed. Awesome. I didn't know that. It's to be confirmed. To 20 next year. Yeah, next year. I would guess probably late next year. I would probably guess it's starting in fall, maybe summer, right? Probably like, yeah, like last year, like the same time slot around here. That makes sense. But yeah, I think about it too. I must say more though. It's obviously pointed to that Diablo is Noir as it starts in black and white. It starts in Noir. Nothing about it, yeah, it's pretty obvious now. Of course he is Noir. I mean, I think it's obvious anyway, but yeah, even more so, right? Early next year? Maybe. Maybe, I don't know. It will be like 1.5 year after it started. Potentially, maybe. It's quite uncommon for animes though. Maybe. Well, anyway, see you guys. Hope you liked the review in live reaction. This will be the end of animes today. My person Devil May Cry later tonight on Twitch. So otherwise, see you guys tomorrow, hopefully in Black Clover, the first thing, right? And Round to Win, which might be end. They're almost at the end that running at least. And of course, Kaguri, which is, I don't know, they're maybe ending that. Hard to tell that. Yeah. Anyways, have a good day, and I'll see you guys.